Over the many years, being a gardener has taught me to have a steadfast patience because the fruits of my labors, be it tilling and prepping the ground to planting trees, flowers, or grass, takes months to years to show. I've become so patient that I can even take pleasure at watching the nanoseconds go by as I observe a blade of grass grow or enjoy the simple things in life at a snail's pace as the seasons change. As a gardener, I allow each plant and tree to grow how they want to and nurture their health and potential as the months and years pass on. I demanded nothing from them except to be beautiful and happy as God intended nature to be. Gardening has a silent pride that wells up quietly because you till, dig, nurture, water, lift, drag, sweat, labor, and defend throughout the years. Gardeners, in my experience, don't brag or have a need to. Their labor and dedication to their craft do that quietly for them. When approaching a gardener about their yard, they are often humble, polite, helpful, and will take as long as it takes to talk shop and fundamentals to share their craft. With my houseplants, I took the same approach as I did when gardening. I asked nothing of my plants but to be healthy and happy. Indoor gardening alone, I had created my own mental sanctuary and haven of healing, and I could tell you which plants had new leaves or other subtle changes. I was truly happy and loved my plants without question. However, somewhere down the road of joining the houseplant community, I lost my steadfast gardener's patience and love for the slow observance, nurturing, and laboring that comes with growing living things. A silent, calm pride became loud and frantic bragging. Hanging out quietly with nature, taking in the sweet smells of flowers as the wind blew through my hair became staying inside with my tablet plastered to my face, bidding for attention with every new post. I demanded with an iron fist that my plants grow within days or weeks. I stopped loving them as they became nothing more than objects to get viral attention. And when the plants couldn't grow on my time or look like that pic I saw on social media, I threw them away. I didn't even have the patience to propagate anything anymore because even a pothos cutting took too long. Before joining social media, I had propagated both a ficus teneki and a money tree that took a year each to grow roots, and that was pure bliss to me. I even learned to propagate with potting soil indoors, but this mentality was no more. Now I was a nervous wreck and burnt out from stress every day because my personal Garden of Eden was paved over. I was caught in the social media houseplant speedway and needed results every week to keep up. I was also surrounded by a system where I could help people 24/7 with my knowledge instead of waiting for the occasional neighbor to pass by for a gardening chat. I was on a pure houseplant junkie trip and I had the jitters bad. This went on for 2 years. Then one day everyone went silent on me. The speedway stopped as no one would look in my direction anymore. No comments, no reactions, no advice needed or taken. Nothing but an abandoned space of being ignored. At first I had withdrawals and didn't know how to handle the silence. With all the previous noise and posts, I couldn't feel life around me. I didn't notice the stars above me, feel the wind in my hair, or the fragrant smells of the seasons changing. The minutes of the clock were agonizing because now what was the purpose of my tablet when the screen remained shut off? It was then in the deafening silence I realized that I had torn down my sanctuary and my mental state was a mess. I had made my plants into worthless objects in my eyes and demanded so much out of them for nothing more than viral posts that I had exhausted my plants. Me turning them into objects, trinkets of desire instead of my safe haven of beloved friends, was showing in signs of stress and browning leaves. It was like I could hear cries to return to myself and my peaceful gardening ways, with no striving for attention or hours of screen time, I could clearly see what I lost. So I dropped everything I tried so hard to be a part of and grabbed a pickaxe. I tore the social media speedway streets apart with every swing, returning my original state that had built my safe haven. I broke and tilled the ground, returning to my quiet gardening ways slowly, and brought back my personal Garden of Eden that takes seasons, not weeks, to cultivate once again. I no longer demand my houseplants to grow for bragging rights or viral attention anymore. I nurture them to just be themselves in the months, seasons, and years, guiding their slow growing potential along the way. My roots of a gardener with a steadfast patience is slowly coming back to me, and my mental state is healing as my plants glow around me. For me, the greatest joy of caring for houseplants is the slow burn and beauty that comes with a steadfast patience over seasons and decades. Sometimes the most unexpected things happen when I just stop and let my plants tell their side of the story through patience.